The views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL, but we're the ones that have encouraged you all along to like and share them on social media and with all of your friends and neighbors, because if it's happening, you'll hear about it right here on the Sue Ellen Sanders Show weekend mornings. And here's your host, the one and only Sue Ellen Sanders.
Welcome to the Sue Ellen Sanders Show, and I love staying up to date on what's going on the Treasure Coast, but also on issues and ideas, and especially on nonprofit organizations. So if you have some contacts and you'd like to be on the radio show, just reach out to us at WPSL.com, and I'd be happy to get back to you. But I am excited today. I have two friends of mine that are on the radio show, and they're representing today an organization that I'm also a member of too. Kathy Post and Donna Demarchi are the co-chairs this year of the annual Port St. Lucie Business Women's Fashion Show that is coming up, not right around the corner, but not that far down the road, on April 22nd.
It'll be here before we know it.
Yeah. And also, Donna Demarchi is a not immediate past president anymore, but a past president 2 times removed, right?
Yes, I had the joy of leading our organization through the pandemic, which brought its challenges, to say the least, but I love to say that we not only survived, but we thrived.
I agree, and you kept everybody together, even through Zoom meetings and, being encouraging, because there were times during the pandemic where the members needed to have that reassurance that some things were staying the same.
Yeah.
So
I think we needed connection too, that human connection that we weren't getting because we weren't getting out.
Yeah.
And I mean, the organization's been around a really long time, and so we rely on each other and we support each other. So being able to even do that through Zoom was, I think, really important. So we kind of were able to continue that connection and support each other through some really difficult times.
Yeah, yep.
it's really true. And then this past year, Jessica Parrish with the United Way of St. Lucie and Okeechobee County was the president. And then just recently, Devin Dwyer just took over as president in December.
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about the organization itself and the relationship of it as part of the history of St. Lucie County and the city of Port St. Lucie. I have 2 people with me today that both grew up. Kathy, you were born here too, right?
I was actually born in Fort Lauderdale, but we moved here in 1969, so it wasn't too much longer when we came here.
Yeah.
I grew up with Port St. Lucie, is what I like to say.
Yes.
When there were no red lights, and my feet print are in the sidewalks that they poured in part of Port St. Lucie. So it's been a really, really long time. And my parents were young when they moved here, and so they were young families. There weren't a lot of families, and so they were looking for organizations to help support one another. And so over the years, they were involved in things like the JCs and the Exchange Club and the Junior Women's Club. But in the late 70s, early 80s, the Exchange Club would not allow women to be members. And so there were a group of women who decided to start their own organization to support other women in business. And we're fortunate to still have a couple of those women charter members as members today, Lee Hicks being one of them. So they formed the organization, the Port St. Lucie Business Women. We are an independent organization. We're not attached to any national organization because they wanted to be able to have autonomy and make decisions on what we wanted to do, and really have it more impact the local community. And so that's how we started. And we did all kinds of fun stuff in the beginning, raft races and all kinds of things.
I remember the raft races. Yeah, that was fun.
Definitely.
Down the river.
Yeah.
Donna is also pretty local. You grew up in Martin County and went to Martin County High School.
Yeah, we actually moved to the Treasure Coast in 1980, and I'll never forget, I was born up in the Northeast, as many of us, I think, that live here were. And when my family told us we were going to move to Port St. Lucie, the Stewart area, I was devastated because my only experience had been in the retirement communities. So I cried because I thought there were no kids and no schools in Florida. So I was very happy to learn that, yes, there were.
Yeah.
While I haven't been here as long as Kathy, I've certainly seen a lot of development in Port St. Lucie. And I realize there's a lot that are troubled by that, but I just think it's exciting to see growth, to have more young families moving in. I think it's good for all of us, and especially as a business person, to see the growth and development that we've had.
And of course, both Donna and Kathy are businesswomen, and so the name Port St. Lucie Businesswomen, which also includes people who live and work as part of their job in Port St. Lucie. And Donna is an attorney with Eberst Law Firm, and Kathy Post, you of course know her from Post Insurance, and which her dad started many years ago,
1979, in the living room of our house.
Yeah. So that's also something you grew up with. And another thing that the two have parallel is, I know that Kathy is an FSU grad and fan, and Donna is a University of Florida grad.
We
and
still
fan.
like each other.
Yes.
We do. I'm not
Except
really
one
a
day
grad,
a
I'm
year,
just
maybe.
a supporter because my sister was the grad. Except for
Oh,
one,
okay.
one day a year.
One day a year.
Well, I'm a Gator grad too, so I always lean toward it. As a matter of fact, one of the things, so we're during the course of this show, we're going to be talking about what the Port St. Lucie Business Women's Group is and what they do, and we'll also be talking about the fashion show. But we're sitting around earlier this week, the fashion show committee, because a lot of the people who are part of the businesswomen, as a matter of fact, as part of being part of the group, you have to help with the fashion show because it's the major fundraiser for Port St. Lucie businesswomen, and they give Donna, help me, how much a year would you say?
So
figures?
We average between $7,500 and $10,000 a year in scholarships to area students attending IRSC, and then we have a wonderful partnership with the college, and then we also give anywhere between $10,000 and $15,000 in grants to area nonprofits. And how much we can give is largely dependent on the success of our fashion show, of course.
And because of the pandemic, there was at least 1 year, 2 years. Was there 2 years?
2 years
not
that we had
having
no
a
fashion show.
So last year it came back better than ever, but this year you're expecting and hoping to raise enough funds to fund those scholarships, and they're not just scholarships to young people, they're scholarships to women who are looking to return to college that have families. So it's helping to enable women to grow in their businesses. And one of the things that is meaningful to me about Port St. Lucie businesswomen is the encouragement that women give each other, whether you're part of a nonprofit or you're a business or you have your own business or you're part of a corporation. There's a variety of women, and what they all have in common is they all want to help each other as well.
I think they do, and I think they, most of us have the same challenges, no matter who we work for, whether we own our own business or we work for someone else, whether it be a municipality or corporation or, nonprofit, doesn't matter. We have the same challenges of work-life balance and being able to give back to the extent that we want to. And so being able to kind of be in the same room with those women who share the same challenges and successes and really be able to celebrate those together, I think is what makes our organization so special. And it's been that way since we started. It was always about giving back to the community, but also really lifting up and supporting each other through whatever challenges we might be going through at the time. And we've had some pretty significant challenges. I mean, we've had women in our group that have, lost husbands, who've lost children, who've had cancer themselves, and so there's been a lot of challenges that we all face every day. And to have that group of women that we can lean on that are a little bit more removed from then your closest friends, but to support you from a business perspective, I think is really special for what our group does.
Also, the other thing that I've found, especially in the last year, I debated, as I retired last year, do I want to continue being a part of the businesswomen, and then realized that some of the ideas that I had for moving forward, because retiring to me doesn't mean not working. It just means not working for money anymore. But some of the ideas that I had moving forward were things I needed feedback on, and this group was ideal for giving me feedback. And it's been very supportive. And
and I think one of the other things that the organization is really great about, and I know I've been a member since the early 90s, and I really appreciate the mentors and the women before me who helped mentor me to become, a businesswoman. I was green in business at the time. So I think as we decide whether or not we want to retire or just work less or whatever, that there's an importance in then mentoring the group behind us, the up and coming businesswomen, not necessarily the younger ones, but yes, a lot of them are younger, and making sure that we are sharing with them and empowering them the knowledge that somebody else has shared with us, and that pass down of information and support is, I think, really important.
So if you're listening to this show and you or somebody might want to be a member, the path to membership is simple. You can reach out through the social media, through the Facebook page, or through the website to one of the officers or one of the other members. If you look at the members list and see somebody that reach out to them, because that member has got to bring you to a meeting, and you have to come to the meeting. You can't just say, I'm going to join this organization, because the women of the Port St. Lucie business women want you to understand that it is a little bit of a commitment, because you're saying that you want to be part of giving back to the community, and as giving back to the community in many ways, through volunteering, through the scholarships, through the grants, through the different programs that the businesswomen put together. And so it's important that you see what you're signing up for before you do. So yeah, everybody's shaking their head.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're also a member-run organization. While we have a board of directors and they help guide and steer, it's really our members that make the decisions. So being in the room and part of the conversation is so important, but yet what a great empowerment tool we give to our members, where they do have a voice. So there's a lot of jobs or organizations that you're part of where there's somebody in charge and they let you know they're in charge, and we don't operate that way. And I think that's part of what makes us unique also, is that our members' voices matter, and it's the collective. And I just love being part of that process, because the more voices you have and the more thoughts you have, I think the stronger and better you can be.
I'm glad you mentioned that too, that cooperative spirit, because things have changed a lot now that we're in 2022, but
2023.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I know you're still in 2022, Sue Ellen.
Okay. It is. I just got used to saying 2022.
Right.
But there was a time that not that long ago where women had to struggle to find their place in the business community. And, Kathy, you referenced some of the organizations that didn't allow women. Well, Rotary, which I became a part of, also didn't allow women too, and it was. And the women didn't have such strong team building skills because some of us, and probably this is before you guys, grew up where there weren't a lot of women's teams that you could play on. Girls weren't necessarily encouraged to play. There wasn't a soccer team or a softball team, or at my high school we had gymnastics and we had tennis. And we had 4 different kinds of cheerleading for the girls.
Cheerleading is a sport.
Yes,
Just saying.
yes, yeah. But it was before the rules changed, and they had to include girls' teams. But my point is that we didn't work as a group in the ways that young men did at that age. And that's a strong business skill, to be able to work with other people and be able to understand somebody else's perspective, or to, for lack of a better term, pass the ball.
Right.
So anyhow,
It is hard to believe when you think about us sitting around the room that we were young women and we were still not allowed in a men's organization. And it's, we'd like to think that we're so progressive, but really in our lifetime we have seen that huge shift. And I think that's really encouraging.
it is very encouraging. And the positive thing is Port St. Lucie Businesswoman was formed because of that. That was one of the contributing reasons. And it has flourished as and a lot of our members now do also belong to a service club like Rotary or Kiwanis. I don't think JC's around anymore, even though we still have the JC Park.
The park's still here,
yeah,
right?
I know. That's a sticking point in Tom Perona's. But it is good that we have that ability to work together and putting things together like the fashion show, or coming together as a committee. I know Carol Wyatt has been the chair of our scholarships and grants committee, and she has volunteers as part of our committee that come together and look over the scholarship applications and make the determination of what students get the scholarships. And there's a number of other committees as well that come together. There's a publicity committee, a membership committee. I cannot remember all the committees, but everyone's also asked to be a part of the fashion show as well.
Yeah, that's part of the expectation if you become a member, is that you sit on a committee and that you participate in the fashion show. So it's kind of two different commitments, if you will. And then we also expect our members to come to our luncheons, because we want their engagement. We want them to be a part of the meetings and the decisions and the goal setting and everything else that an organization has to do. So we want members who are going to be a real active asset to who we are. So it's not just join and have Port St. Lucie Businesswomen on your resume. You really do need to be committed to our mission and to making that mission move forward.
And the 2 times a month that y'all meet are the first and third Thursdays, correct?
Yes, first and third Thursday at Tutti Fresco. We meet for lunch. One meeting is generally a business meeting, and another is a program committee where we have a special guest who is speaking.
That's another committee, program
Yes,
committee.
program. And so we always have a program with a speaker that is, giving us all kinds of great information.
So actually, and if you are a part of other organizations, or if you're looking to speak to the Port St. Lucie Businesswomen, you could reach out as well, because the group is really good at cross-promoting other things that are important to people in the community. So let's move on for a little bit to the fashion show, because although it's coming up a few months from now on April 22nd, there's a lot of planning and a lot of work to be done, and a lot of things that you need the community's help with.
Yes. Let me just say, though, when you say fashion show, sometimes people think it's fashion show on a small scale, and then others might think fashion show like on New York, Paris scale, which it's really in the middle. But our fashion show is probably one of the best events and fashion shows that you can find. I would challenge you from Indian River to Palm Beach. We do a fantastic job of putting together women who showcase local designers, local businesses and their fashions. And then we couple that with a wonderful lunch. This year it's going to be at Harbor Ridge Yacht and Country Club. Did I say that right?
Yes.
And then we always have a lot of fun, raffles, silent auctions, and that type of thing, which Donna can expound on. But I don't want the general audience to think, oh, it's just a fashion show. No, this is a fashion show.
And
it's an event.
place to
for
be
sure.
It is
seen.
an event.
It's a special event.
Yes.
And
We will have 300 women in this room.
Yep,
I mean,
yep.
it will be sold out for sure.
And the silent auction part of it too is almost an event in itself, because there's generally 100?
Yeah, between 100 and 150 opportunities
Yeah.
to bid, and such a wide range of items we've had in the past. And one of the things we're doing right now, and part of why we wanted to do your show so early, is we are seeking donations towards our silent auctions. And some thought, a gift certificate, a scratch-off lottery ticket, but also I'm hopeful that we might be able to find maybe one of your listeners has a vacation home that they'd be willing to donate for a week. The Mets
Or
have
even a weekend.
or a
Yeah,
weekend would be
yeah.
great. Yeah, absolutely. The
Or
Mets
tickets
have
to
always
the
been great.
FSU UF football game.
So
That
I
would
will.
be
I will. There,
great.
I'll challenge you, my friend, because I will be donating 2 tickets to a UF game. So I
yeah,
challenge
can-
you to see what you can do to get our FSU
rivalry
tickets for
tickets
that.
going.
Mhm.
The fun thing about some of the silent auction things is the committee, how they fit everything together and how they put them together as a basket, because almost never do you just get one thing that you're bidding on, and it's always a lot of fun to see. And I really enjoy the fact that Carissa is the one who's collecting for the silent auction.
Correct. Carissa's with Seacoast Bank, who's
Yeah.
another frequent contributor to our organization, and she's done it for several years, herding the cat, so to speak, and helping get everything put together and make sure that our silent auction is, like we were saying earlier, bigger and better than it's ever been.
And okay, we're recording this show. Yes, it's 2023. It's the beginning of February, although when you're listening to it, maybe a little bit later in the year. But if you, for the holidays, got gifts that some well-meaning aunt or husband or daughter or somebody gave you that are not really your style, but they're brand new, that's ideal to donate. You can just put them all in a bag like Santa Claus and drop them off with a committee member.
Yep, or reach out to, we have a email, fashionshow@pslbw.com. So if you have questions about tickets or the fashion show, or if you have an item you'd like to donate, or, and hopefully we'll talk a little bit about sponsorships, if you'd like to sponsor and get your name out there to a room of moving and shaking women in the community, fashionshow@pslbw.com would be the email address.
Okay, good. And I see that Cliff is scribbling away there, so he's probably
I'm going to
got
make
that.
you a QR code that will go right on this show.
Oh, so cool. I love
wonderful.
QR
And you'll be able
codes.
to send them right
They're
to
my
that website.
favorite.
That'd be great.
Wonderful.
Yes. Well, speaking of sponsorships, I am this year's sponsorship chair, and actually I'm this year's sponsorship committee too.
Yes.
Right now, yes.
And may I say, you're doing a fantastic job.
All of us really get together on a regular basis at my house.
Your entire
At least you don't have to Zoom, right?
No, we do not.
Right.
We
There's
do
no
not.
arguing.
But there are sponsorships that are available from $75 up to $5,000. And depending on the level that you're looking at, they come with sponsorship perks, including some tickets to the show, including ads in the fashion show booklet, having your logo on publicity and having it included on social media, all sorts of great opportunities for you to showcase your business. And you can also just purchase an ad in the fashion show booklet too. Kathy's point is well taken, though, about that this isn't just a fashion show, because a lot of people kind of look like this as an opportunity to see people that they haven't seen in a long time, or you could purchase a table and bring the women and or men are included if they'd like to come, because there will be some men's fashions as well, in your office, and have it be like a company perk, or use that time to do something special with your mom or your daughter. Kathy, the post-Janowsko women have had a long-standing habit of being part of the fashion show. When your mom, Butch Post, used to come as your guest, and she still comes, and then from a very early age you were bringing your daughter Cassia as well.
That's exactly right. I think the youngest she probably was 6 when I brought her to the first fashion show, and last year she was actually one of our models at 17. And she's loved. Of course, I think she loves it because she always likes to bid on things, including the birds that somehow I won one year.
I was going to bring up the birds.
How did I end up with the birds? I think it was Stephanie's fault.
Were they live birds?
There were 2 live birds,
I can
and
totally-
somehow I ended up with the birds. Which, if you know Cassia, you're not surprised because she is my animal person.
Yes.
So. But it's always a special time, because it's a beautiful luncheon, it's a beautiful day, and so you're absolutely right. Whether you're bringing, women that are, that are family or staff, or special customers or clients, it's just a really nice time to enjoy each other's company in a very relaxed atmosphere. And I think it's just one of those things that's very unique to this community.
And our theme this year is a lot of fun. It's putting on the glitz. It's a Roaring 20s theme. So we expect to see a lot of flapper dresses and boas. And I think it's going to be really, really, really a neat event this year.
I think so too. And if you don't want to dress up, that's okay. Yep. Just don on a set of pearls or a boa, and or just come as you are.
Or just wear a pretty dress and do one of those little headbands that has the
too.
blitz on it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of those headbands, because they just make you feel very 20s.
Glamorous, very
Yes,
glamorous.
very glamorous.
Yes.
So you don't have to dress it, but the room will be dressed like it.
Yes, absolutely. And I do want to mention that we do have some sponsors already. So we should mention that we have 5 sponsors, right?
Truly Title. We have Dwyer Environmental Services. We have Post Insurance. Is it financial and insurance? Insurance and financial?
Insurance and financial.
Okay. I couldn't remember the order that it went in. So that's 1, 2, 3. Oh, WPSL is one of our media sponsors. Who am I missing?
Seacoast.
Seacoast Bank.
How could we forget? And actually, Truly and Seacoast were our first 2 sponsors immediately as soon as the fashion show was announced. So we can always count on them. But there's plenty of room. There's no limit to the amount of sponsors. And like I said, you get a whole lot of stuff with your sponsorship. And you have not only the 300 women and some of the men who come to the fashion show, but also people who share the information about the fashion show. Your logo and information about your company would be shared through that too. So
one of the other things that we do at the fashion show is we have a raffle. I'm sorry, we don't have a raffle.
No, you have an opportunity to win.
We
what
have
you
an opportunity to
Yes,
win.
Yeah.
So we've had a long-standing supporter of our organization who donates a piece of jewelry every year, and G. Allen's Jewelers. And Greg's going to be donating a piece again this year. And we are so incredibly grateful to Greg for his years and years of support of the fashion show. And so he will be doing that again. And so we're always excited because he designs a piece for us. And so we're excited to see what that's going to be. And so there is an opportunity to win that item as well.
And that's like a big ticket item.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And it's always beautiful and always unique. And I actually won it one time. And I was
Did you?
so excited. I never expect to win it. And It was a beautiful pearl and silver necklace. It was gorgeous. So, yeah.
That's great. And I'm very familiar with his jewelry, too. He's got, and I know a lot of jewelry stores do a similar thing, but he has the men's night that he has, about 6 weeks in advance of the holidays, or and invites the men's to come, and they can look around and see everything. And previous to that, the women in their lives can make lists for them, and he will have the lists. So, I mean, it's no different than cutting something out and pinning it to your refrigerator, except for the fact that you're not involved as the middleman. Greg is. So it's nice that you get the jewelry you want, because I don't know about your significant others, but my husband is not particularly well versed in picking out jewelry.
I think they prefer to just go in and say, show me what she wants, and
yes.
then they get to pick one. It just makes their job a lot easier than having to make a choice and look at multiple items. So that wish list is very helpful.
Yeah, so G. Allen is wonderful about that, and we are happy to support him as he has supported us. So how many years has he given the jewelry?
For as long as I can remember.
Since he's
been a long
open.
time.
And it's the 31st fashion show, I think. Would it be the 32nd? I guess
It's the 37th, I think.
Is this her
32nd.
32nd?
Yeah.
But I don't
But we're
think
also
Greg's
counting the
been
year we
open
didn't
that
have it.
long.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
true.
but I'm pretty sure, at
It's
least
been a
since
long
I've been a
time.
member, so over 10 years, he's been
Oh.
doing that.
That's awesome. So let's talk about how people can buy tickets, because as you said, the tickets are going to sell out as we get closer to the event, and you can do that through the website.
Yeah, so pslbw.com is our website. There is a fashion show page or tab there. They're available through Eventbrite. So if you just searched for Port St. Lucie Businesswomen Fashion Show on Eventbrite, you should be able to find us, or the link is also on Facebook.
On the Facebook page, which is the event link is PSLBW fashion show. Even though the fashion show this year does actually have a name, and it's putting on the glitz. So
And if you want to buy a full table, then you can do that by just emailing the fashion show at pslbw.com, and we can make arrangements for the purchase of a table rather than going through Eventbrite, if that's what you prefer.
yeah, that's for people who are purchasing
Full tables.
yeah. But otherwise, the Eventbrite is the way to go, and it's easy to get them. And, you can get your tickets and then print it out, and then, give them for Valentine's Day or for, an anniversary or something like that. And guys, if you're listening, this is another great thing you can do for your significant others.
Well, it's true. And Mother's Day is not that many weeks afterwards. So what a great Mother's Day gift to give prior to Mother's Day, but it still would be a great day out with your mom and daughter.
And you could shop the silent auction
That's
to
right.
buy stuff
For Mother's Day as well.
Yes. We got it all tied up.
We got it all figured out.
Yeah. So, what else do we need to know about the fashion show? What can we expect? I mean, it's not something you go for an hour and then lunch is over.
Oh no, it's from 11 to 2. We encourage folks to get there at 11. I think last year our first guest started coming at 10:15 and we weren't quite ready for them. So we know you want to get there. We know everybody's excited and want to have a great time. We're hopeful that there will be a photo booth opportunity. We'll have some music playing during the event, of course.
And even if there isn't a photo booth, there'll be plenty of photos because we have our photographers all set up all around the room.
And if you've never been to Harbor Ridge, just the view and the opportunity to see that country club, it's absolutely gorgeous. But what I love about fashion show, like Kathy was talking about earlier, is the opportunity to get together with people that maybe you don't get to see all the time. And one of the great things about our organization, I think, is the lifelong friendships that come out of it. We've had members come and go, of course, but there's still always a touch, somewhere. And we'll see a lot of our friends that maybe, something in their lives they aren't able to make the commitment at the moment, or they've moved out of the area. But it's amazing how we even have some of our members that'll come in from out of state for this event, just to get together again.
Yeah, and then after, so you mentioned that it starts at 11, and that's a great opportunity to spend an hour perusing the auction items and the other things that are going on in the room, taking photos and mingling with friends. And then the luncheon itself starts at 12, followed by the fashion show. And we generally wrap up somewhere around 2 o'clock. So it's a really nice afternoon.
Also, with the silent auction, because there's so many different packages and so many different things that you could bid on, a lot of times you get really good deals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're somebody who's looking for a great deal, you could find those too. You were talking about what some of the people could donate for silent auction, but your services,
Oh, yes. So if you're own a hair salon or a nail salon or a spa, I know we have some salt rooms in the area. I think that everybody would love the opportunity to bid on. So it's a great way to get customers into your business. You're absolutely right, Sue Ellen.
So, anyhow, April 22nd is the date, but there's plenty of time for you to be a part of it all. Some of the different options we've talked about here is donating things for baskets, no matter how big or small, because if it's small, the women on the basket giving committee
they will make them amazing.
We will make them,
yes. They'll make them all frou-frou-y and it'll look great. And then you also have the opportunity to be a sponsor and to be a part of the Port St. Lucie businesswomen themselves. So you still have plenty of time to visit the organization's meetings and join if you would like to. What are some of the other advantages of joining Port St. Lucie businesswomen?
Well, I think that I love the development of our members aspect of our group. I do think for our programs, we try to bring in speakers that can educate us, not only on just things happening in the community, but on things we can do to enhance and grow our businesses, from marketing to social media, finances, some of the things we aren't taught, in school. So I think that's a great part of it. We've already mentioned the friendships and just the feel good of giving back to the community, I think, serves a lot of us. I know that's one of my favorite parts as well.
A lot of times you're inundated with requests for donations or to be you get emails, you get things in the mail, and you know that if you donate, if you're a part of that, you don't know what the local connection is. You don't know that the money stays locally, and you may you may have limited funds that you have available to donate, and you want to make sure that you get the most bang for your buck.
Well, one of the things that I really love about what we do in giving our scholarships is we bring the scholarship recipients to one of our luncheons. So we get to meet the women that we're giving the scholarship money to, and then we encourage them to come back a year later or years later and just share where they're at then. So it's really exciting to be able to your point, really see where our contributions are going, and that we kind of see the fruit of our labors, not just the money that we raise, but then how it impacts women directly. And then the grants that we give to our local nonprofits, they are given to local nonprofits, and there's the whole process through that. But we also bring them to our luncheon so that we can hear more about what they're doing and what they're going to be doing with the money that we've donated. So I think that helps, and it creates a deeper connection. Because we really see where our efforts are going.
It also puts those local nonprofits on the radar for all the membership too, so you can find out more about the nonprofit and maybe think to yourself, oh, I want to do more. I want to check out that nonprofit and tour it, or give more money, or serve on a committee or a board for that nonprofit. And again, local, because it makes a difference. We want our community to grow and prosper, and the only way to do that is to give other people that step up. So we've got Kathy. Kathy's here. How long have you been a member?
I think I joined in 1992.
Wow.
Maybe.
So that makes
I was president.
30 years.
I was president.
31 years.
31. Yeah. Thank you very much for doing the math properly. I was president in 1996. So, yeah.
You were just a young thing then.
I was young, and I didn't know any better, and so they said, "Kathy, you should be secretary." And I said, "Oh, okay."
That sounds like fun.
It does.
Yeah.
And it was actually a great learning experience. Yeah. And then after being secretary for a year or two, then they said, "You should be vice president." And I didn't realize that was like an automatic step into being president. But, I had a great group of women around me at the time who supported me and helped teach me. And we had some pretty challenging things come our way during those early years, like every year, I think. But it was wonderful because I learned so much about how you handle those challenges professionally, and it was really, really quite an educational experience. And so I love this organization. I mean, I've had babies with them and got married with them. I mean, I've really grown up with this group.
Yes.
So it's and I do have lifelong friends from the organization, and super grateful for all of that time together.
Donna, you said you've been a member of the organization for about 10 years.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly when I joined, but I think that's probably close to accurate.
The people who brought you into the organizations, are they still members?
So for me, it was Robin Delgado, and there's a lot of us that are Robin Delgado babies. Robin moved out of the area,
yeah.
But there were several of us because she was such a community advocate and so involved, and what a great mentor for me. She worked in the legal community. She wasn't an attorney, but she really
did communications for
she
one.
really wanted me to grow in my career, even though we didn't have that direct relationship. Again, what an incredible person, and I'm so grateful for her. And we all still hear from her, and she definitely keeps tabs on the group for sure.
She's great. So actually, Strelsa Schreiber is who.
Wow.
Yes, and so she was one of the charter members or early members that helped form the organization and wrote the bylaws, and so we knew Strelsa just because of growing up in Port St. Lucie. She'd been here, and so the opportunity for her to bring me in and really encourage me to stay, because it was very intimidating to walk into the room as a young businesswoman and really not really know what to do. So I was grateful that she kind of took me under her wing and said, yes, Kathy, come on in, you can do it. And then would call me, are you coming to the next meeting? Are you coming to the next meeting? So, then she helped introduce me to other women. And so that's pretty much how I started and stuck.
And also when the time came where your dad was retiring and you had to take the company and flourish with it, and you had to get through some hard times yourself. I mean, hurricanes and
oh yes, multiple hurricanes. Yes. You're absolutely right. I mean, when he decided to retire, and I, bought his portion of the business out, and we had lots of challenges. I mean, that was in the middle of the 2000s where we had multiple hurricanes hit this area, and then we've had challenges since then. I mean, between COVID and just the things that we're challenged with today, but just being able to lean on other women, and that group is great. I mean, I call Donna when I have a legal question. I call Donna and I'm like, hey, I really want to bounce this off of you, and so it's really great to have those business connections to be able to just reinforce what or just be able to brainstorm and just discuss those things in an open and confidential nature. So I think that's one of the other real big benefits of the group.
How would you say the organization has changed in the 31 years that you remember?
Wow. Well, we used to have to do a phone call to RSVP, and now everything's done online. When I joined, and when they originally started, they were meeting in the back of Johnny's Corner restaurant, which if you've been around Port St. Lucie for a while, where Johnny's Corner was on US 1, which is no longer there. I always joke that, you're old when the school you went to is no longer there, the restaurants you went to are no longer there, But so things have changed. Things have evolved over time. I think in the beginning, our drive was to give back, but I think now we really strive to set a goal, to raise money, and to know exactly how much we want to give and how we want to give. Our opportunity for scholarships and to our grant opportunities has definitely expanded over the years, and I think that's really, really exciting. We've done seminars and brought in, renowned speakers over the years, and we hope to get back to that. I think our last one was Fawn Germer. Prior to that, Kathy Rigby. So we've had some
I remember
really
Kathy Rigby.
Awesome speakers. Catherine Cryer was one of the early on speakers for our seminars. So we did that in our early days, and I do hope that we'll be able to get back to that.
And
which
that's
is
not
all
an
about
annual,
professional development.
That wasn't an annual thing anyhow. It was like every 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to kind of get back to that. But, the organization has changed, but really I think at our core, it's still the same. We are an organization that wants to support women and children in our community. And whether that means raising money to give through to the nonprofits or through scholarships or just supporting the women in the room and our organization, I think our mission is still the same, and it's still as strong as it ever was.
And that being said, every meeting starts with going around the room and everyone self-introduces themselves or introduces themselves, and every meeting ends with an opportunity for announcements. So if you need to look at the value of that meeting to your organization or to your business or to your boss, that's easy to describe because you're able to promote whatever you need to promote, as well as make those relationships that make growing your business or your organization easier.
And it's incredibly affordable. Our annual dues right now are just $100, and I don't think you can find that value in any other organization in town, especially for all the benefits that you get.
And then you pay as you go for lunch. And the lunch at Chuta Fresco is
not shabby.
Yes.
We're treated I save up my calories for the week for that one.
We're treated like queens.
Yes.
But it's the first and third Thursday at noon. You can reach out to Port St. Lucie businesswomen through their website, PSLB W. I don't know why I have trouble with the putting the initials all in one row. .org or .com?
.com.
.com. And you can also reach out through social media because we do have Facebook and we do we have Instagram? I don't know. I don't follow it on Instagram.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
if we do,
We're
we're
the
not doing
Facebook generation.
Yes, exactly. If we do, we're not doing a good job with that.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't speak to it.
But there's an opportunity to reach out to a member or to somebody on the board or somebody on the committee. If you want to buy tickets for the fashion show, I suggest you buy them now. Kathy, you want to Kathy or Donna, you add some more about tickets just to reiterate the ticket sales?
I would just say that, yes, please buy tickets sooner rather than later. And we do assigned seating with our tickets. So if you have a group of women that you want to sit with, then we always encourage you to, include that in your ticket order so that we can make sure that we seat people together. We have tables of 8 and tables of 10 available. So if you do want to buy a full table, that is fantastic, and we can make sure that happens. Again, that is probably best done through email at fashionshow@pslbw.com, and we can make sure that we get the correct information. If you want information on sponsorship, also email fashionshow@pslbw, as well as if you have a silent auction item or just items in general that they need to be new, or gift certificates or anything else, then just give us an email or post us on Facebook, and we'll make sure that we pick those up. It will be a great opportunity. Come check us out. That's a really fun way for you to learn a little bit more about Port St. Lucie businesswomen, is to come to the fashion show rather than come to a general meeting. You can just come and kind of see what we're all about, and it's a lot more fun.
And then also, if you want to see the members that are on at part of the group, you can look online on the website too. And I'm sure that if you're interested in joining and you look at the group, you'll see somebody that you're familiar with. And again, fashion show, great opportunity to try the group out and see what it's like. But even if you don't have any interest in being a part of the group, this is such a fun event on April 22nd. It is so much. It's fun to dress up, whether you're dressing in a flapper dress or you're just dressing up and having fun. Bring your daughters, bring your mothers, bring your friends. Donna Demarchi and Kathy Post have been my guests today. Donna is an attorney with Eberst and
Eberst. You got it.
Eberst and Eberst. And Kathy is with Post Insurance and Financials. I'm Sue Ellen Sanders. I'm here every weekend talking about things that are going on in the community. I appreciate you ladies joining me today.
Thanks, Sue Ellen. Great to be here.
We'll see you next weekend with more.
Archives of the Sue Ellen Sanders Show are on YouTube under WPSL TV. Thank you for joining us. Look at our schedule at WPSL.com. Saturday and Sunday mornings around 7 o'clock, the Sue Ellen Sanders Show's weekends, WPSL.